Hey there, and welcome to Play Noggin. I'm Julian, your brains player too. Let me tell you about two things I love: Nintendo games and cephalopods. You know, animals like octopi, squid, and cuttlefish. So I was frisky as a squid on Tuesday when Splatoon 2 finally dropped, because it gives me a chance to spread the love for cephalopods, some of the most amazing creatures in the sea. And considering just how weird sea creatures are, that's saying something. Yeah, I hear you, Subnautica fans, that episode is coming. But cephalopods have a special place in my heart because they have so many remarkable talents. And when you look at it, Splatoon 2 actually shows them off really well. And to think, Nintendo almost went with rabbits instead of the squid human inklings. Come on, Nintendo, you've had bloopers in your game since 1985. The answer was there the whole time. The first and most obvious trait the inklings share with real squid is their ability to shoot, well, ink. That is, after all, the premise of the game: shoot ink to mark your territory and kill other inklings. Inklings seem to make their own ink, though they replenish it by swimming through it, which brings up some problems with conservation of mass that I won't get into because it's not fun. Squid make their own ink too, which may sound odd if you're used to thinking of ink as only stuff you'd find in pens. But it's not like squids make the same kind of ink that you'd find in a Bic ballpoint. A black pen's ink gets its color from carbon black, a pigment that is basically elemental carbon. By contrast, the pigment in squid ink is melanin, an organic compound that most organisms, including humans, produce. But pigment alone is not enough to make ink. It has to be suspended in a liquid, and for squid ink, that liquid is mucus. That's right, the kind of mucus. Kind of makes swimming through the ink in the game feel just a whole lot grosser now, doesn't it? Maybe that's why you slow down an enemy ink. Other people's boogers are way grosser than your own, right? Who'd want to swim through that? When your inkling's not grossed out, swimming through ink also gives them cover by hiding them from the enemy. For actual squids, it's not so different. Their ink sacs open up right by a funnel that can push water through. When a squid is threatened by a predator, they can dump the ink into the stream of water, shrouding them while they find a place to hide. That stream of water, by the way, also gives the squid jet propulsion. While the in-game inklings might need a special weapon set or launch pad to blast off, the actual animals that exist on Earth right now are natural ramjets. To achieve this point and squirt ability, they take in water when they expand their mantle, the pointy bit above their heads. Then, when they contract it, the mantle seals so the water is forced out of a siphon, and the squid shoots off like a torpedo. They can also aim the nozzle, so they can lunge forward to snatch prey, or backward to make a hasty retreat. A few species have been spotted using their jet propulsion to launch themselves out of the water, spreading their tentacles and soaring in the air as far as 10 meters. In water, some species of squid can reach as high as 40 kilometers per hour in short bursts, which is pretty impressive when you consider how hard it is to move through water. On top of that, when they suck in water, it passes over their gills. So, this is how they breathe. To put that in perspective, imagine you took in a breath, and then when you blew out as hard as you could, you shot backwards at 40 kilometers per hour. Oh, and you released a cloud of mucousy ink while you were at it. Having ink for cover is nice, but squid have other means of camouflage. They can actually change the color of their skin, and not by going to some in-game shop. They do it on the fly, using cells just under their skin called chromatophores. These cells are little pigment-filled pouches that the squid can expand and contract on demand. And I do mean on demand. They can change their whole appearance in the blink of an eye. They don't have to wait till the end of a 3-minute match to switch colors. Using these, the squid can disguise themselves, glimmering like the waters in the open ocean or breaking up their outline. Squid that live in deeper parts of the ocean can turn themselves a darker red, a wavelength of light that doesn't pierce the depths. Since there's no red light to reflect, these squid essentially become invisible. Squid have come up with another use for this ability to tan instantly. It appears squid can communicate via their skin. Along with the camouflage, they can create patterns across their bodies, like horizontal or vertical stripes or polka dots. They can actually have different patterns at the same time on their mantles, fins, and arms, and can even split themselves right down the middle to show different messages on each side of their body. Male Caribbean reef squid have been seen making use of this when they're in between a female and a rival male. On one side, they'll display a courtship message, while on the other side of their body, they'll tell the rival to back off, bro. It all sounds pretty complicated, and yet not as complicated as voice chat with the Switch's app. There could be a surprising depth to squid communication. One species, the Humboldt squid, hunts in packs and displays messages to communicate with their squad, just like you would in Splatoon. For most species, though, the messages mostly seem geared towards the two Fs, fighting, and reproduction. But it's possible there could be some deeper discussion going on. Which brings me to my last and most favorite thing about squid and cephalopods in general. They are incredibly intelligent and are thought to be the smartest of the invertebrates. Aquariums regularly devise new puzzles for octopi, like unscrewing jars or unlocking boxes to get to their favorite treats. Octopi actually have so much brain, they couldn't fit it all in their foot heads, and each arm has a packet of neurons that can control it autonomously. Squid are still pretty dang smart and impressive, but they don't have a network of brains in each arm. Hey, maybe that's why Octarians are just a tentacle with a dumb face on. Splatoon, you are a weirdly accurate game. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to like and subscribe, leave suggestions in the comments below, and don't forget to keep on playing.